Hello, today we're excited to present this unique product which we call the HomeLink Repeater. Its purpose is to provide an interface between some cars which come equipped with the HomeLink system and automation equipment like garage door, gates and barriers. Visually, the HomeLink system looks like this. It is a control panel which is usually integrated with the sun visor, the rear view mirror, and in case with BMWs, with the dashboard. The HomeLink system was designed to operate automation equipment. Nominal setup consists of copying the original remote to the HomeLink controller. The HomeLink controller then can generate the copied signal to activate your access control system. This is in theory. However, more often than not, such setup by copying the system from the original remote directly does not work. Thing is, the HomeLink system is not compatible with many automated access control systems popular in Russia and in CIS countries. In addition, the HomeLink system very often supports only 315 MHz. It is also available at 433 MHz as well, which is the most common frequency in Russia and in CIS countries, but from experience we have mostly come across 315 MHz. We offer a solution to this compatibility problem. The repeater by PrimePulse supports many popular automated access control systems with different frequencies. It can generate the signal at 315 MHz, 433.92 MHz, 434.42 MHz, and 868 MHz. Additionally, the repeater can pair with the nominal HomeLink system, which operates at 315 MHz or 433 MHz. The pairing with the HomeLink system is wireless, via radio communication. There is no need to integrate the repeater with the existing system physically or electronically. No need to break open anything or, God forbid, use a soldering iron to connect the wires. The repeater will speak with the HomeLink system in your car only via a radio link. We're going to demonstrate how it all works later in this video. First, let's see what we have here on the table. We have a sun visor with the HomeLink system. We have HomeLink control boards for BMWs. A rear view mirror with another HomeLink system. It's from an Infinity. Then we have different remotes, Door Hand, Nice Milo and LMS. And this electrical setup is the power supply to all these HomeLink systems. Lastly, we will use this nice little toy. It will help us to verify the copying process. When you buy the HomeLink repeater, in the box you'll find the repeater itself and this antenna, which connects to the repeater using a cord. Let's connect the antenna now. Also in the box is a micro USB cable and this power cable for connecting the repeater to 12-volt power supply in your car. You can choose how to power the repeater. It can be connected to a 5-volt USB socket or 12-volt power supply in your car. The repeater has a light indicator which emits a signal when the repeater is connected to power. It will emit one flash every second. Once again, this is to show that the repeater is powered. The repeater comes equipped with the so-called service remote. The remote operates at either 315 MHz or 433 MHz. This will depend on the operating frequency of your HomeLink system. At your request, we will send you a service remote with one of these frequencies. Let's demonstrate how to pair the repeater with the HomeLink operating at 315 MHz first. The first thing to do is to perform a hard reset of the HomeLink system to switch it to the default mode. To do that, simultaneously press and hold buttons 1 and 3 on the HomeLink control panel for about 20 seconds until the HomeLink starts emitting rapid flashing. There you have it. When the flashing starts, release all the buttons. The HomeLink system is now in its default mode. All previously recorded codes have been erased. Now you'll need to copy the button codes of the service remote to the buttons of the HomeLink system. To do that, press and hold button 1 on the HomeLink system. Place the service remote close to the HomeLink control panel. Press and hold button A on the service remote. Release all the buttons when you see this rapid flashing. Let's copy the remaining codes. Button B must be copied to button 2 of the HomeLink system. And button C must be copied to button 3 of the HomeLink system. After the copying is complete, you'll need to pair the service remote with the repeater. On this service remote, simultaneously press and hold A and D. Now disconnect the repeater from the power supply. In our case, we simply reconnected the USB cable. After the cable has been reconnected to power, the repeater will emit a loud audio signal. It means that the pairing was successful. Now to demonstrate the result of our setup, let's pair one of the original remotes with the boom barrier. We have successfully paired the LMS remote. Now all we need to do is program our HomeLink system so that it can be used to open the boom barrier. At this point you will no longer need physical access to the repeater. It will be accessed remotely with the help of the service remote. The repeater can now be installed in your car or where required. However, you will need to keep the antenna exposed because it will be needed for pairing of the original remote. Let's say we want button 1 of the HomeLink system to open the barrier. On the service remote we'll need button A because button 1 is the copy of button A. Similarly, we'll need to use button B on the service remote to program button 2 on the HomeLink system, and button C to program button 3. The remaining D button on the service remote is used for setup. Simultaneously press and hold A and D on the service remote. You'll hear a loud beep. It means that the repeater is in the programming mode. Now place the original remote close to the antenna and press and hold the button you wish to pair with the boom barrier. The repeater will emit a long audio signal to let you know that the pairing was successful. Now the HomeLink system can be used to activate the barrier. Everything works. Let's now demonstrate how to pair the other buttons of the HomeLink system. To do that, let's pair this nice smiler remote with the barrier. By the way, if you were wondering, our boom barrier is equipped with a universal receiver, so it is compatible with many systems. Now we want to program button 2 to activate the barrier. To do that, simultaneously press and hold buttons B and D this time. The repeater will start emitting a double beep every 2 seconds. It means that we're trying to program channel 2. Place the original nice smiler remote close to the antenna and press and hold the activation button. This long audio signal means that the programming was successful. The barrier opens. To program the remaining button, button 3, simply complete the same steps as before. First, let's pair the original door handle remote with the barrier. To switch the repeater to programming mode, simultaneously press and hold C and D this time. You'll hear 3 beeps. It means that you're trying to program channel 3. Place the original door handle remote close to the antenna. Press and hold the activation button. The long audio signal means that the programming was successful. Now button 3 of the HomeLink system activates the barrier. The programming was successful. The beauty of the repeater is that you don't need to change the existing HomeLink system. The repeater can be reprogrammed when required. You don't need physical access to the repeater itself, only its antenna. So it can be hidden away in your car, for example, and the antenna can be taped to any surface in your car for better reception and future programming. Tape it to the glass or the inside of the glove box. The repeater can also be connected to the power supply in 2 ways: to a USB to test it, or to power supply in your car. Simply use the power cable supplied with the repeater. The HomeLink Repeater comes with a detailed instruction manual. It will guide you through the setup and installation process. It will also provide information on the supported systems with pictures of compatible remotes. Please visit our website to download the instruction manual, and thank you for watching.